Hello, hello, hello. This is DWTT coming at you with another episode of the trip. But first, I got to do one of the things that Mr. Tom hates, apparently. It's the first Mr. Tom's heard of it, but he hates the intro, apparently, because I'm Gary. So I know what's in Mr. Tom's mind more than Mr. Tom does. So here we go.
This is DWTT coming to you. The Emirates. Here we go on our way down. Say hi, Mark. Happy. And down there, what do we got? On the stoop, low. We're at the Tollington. Hello. We're at the Tollington. We just saw a couple players go by. Bruce Nelson, Jintenko. They do. No players went by. It's crazy. No players.
Right, that's enough of that shit. Right, hello. Welcome to this episode 47 of the road trip. I've got the co-leader of Shanghai Port himself, Mr. Sam Greenwood.
Howdy doody, everybody. How you doing, Mr. Tom? Nice to see you again.
It's felt like years since I've seen you, Mr. Greenwood. Years.
I've been away.
How
was
your trip?
I've been experiencing life, man. I've been experiencing life in all forms and sizes, and tastes and variations. I tell you
You've
what,
been going so fast. You needed the glasses.
I tell you what, man, there was so much juice coming my way, I had to have the glasses on. That's exactly right. Beautiful, man.
Sense.
Beautiful.
Just want to say, obviously, in keeping with the tradition of the show, say hello as the message pop up. Arsenal Misfit says, morning, everyone. And then the Canterbury Gooner, we know him as Riddy, has said, greetings, folks. Fascinating sprint race going on in the Austrian Grand Prix. I believe Lewis Hamilton qualified at 18th.
Bloody hell. Formula One. It's a little bit better this season, I think, but it's been boring for a long time. Too boring, man.
Fastest car wins. I mean...
Well, it's just it's such... They've made it such a game of aerodynamics and science that, the cars can't get close to each other. They have to bring in all that DRS crap and all this, try and engineer so cars can get close to each other.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand a lot of it, but at the same time, I'm just like, oh, I know who's got the fastest car this season, and they'll go, oh, it's Vettel, or it's Hamilton, whoever. And I'm like, so that's the name I'm going to be seeing.
Unless you crash or something like that, most of the races are determined by the pit strategy now. It's when, if they can pit smarter than the other guy and get out a bit quicker, get out a bit smarter. That's basically the way it works now. It's a bit pathetic, really. I miss the old days where all the cars were basically the same. Obviously there was a little bit of difference in the engine, but aerodynamically the cars were basically the same, and you had proper racing.
So just discovering from Riddy, Hamilton's now projected for 10th after starting 18th. That's what I read. I saw the words Hamilton and 18th on Sky Sports News. It's the only reason I knew that.
Well, he's supposed to be good enough to get up through the grid, isn't he?
Question from Russ Morgan. Hello, Russ. Sam, did you go skiing?
I went skiing in the land of smiles, and it was beautiful, man. It was beautiful.
That doesn't surprise me. However, I think our viewership, nice mate icons. Yeah, okay. More importantly than the Austrian Grand Prix, I think Sam's going to want to discuss a certain topic. Basically, I feel like the word on the lips of most of the Arsenal fans who tend to come in here is Rice.
Rice, baby.
Rice.
There it is. Look,
rice.
that's a bit normal bit of jasmine there. I think by the looks of it.
Yeah, don't worry. I've got a selection. Don't worry. I've got a fine selection of rice because obviously I like to respect our viewership, and I think we need some education. Okay, so
watch what a proper club does.
Got some more of them. You don't get this on other shows. So got that's called wild rice. Okay.
Wild rice, yes, lovely.
Wild rice. Okay.
You can't tame it, man. You can't tame it. You can't tame it.
Exactly. And did you keep up to date with the Thai league while you were over there?
Yeah, the Thai lady bar league. I tell you what, it was awesome.
How's it going? The only rice at Arsenal right now is Uncle Ben's in the canteen. It's true.
Yeah, at the moment. Yep.
Yeah, it's a fair point. It's a fair point. More than a fair point. But because I just can't help myself, we're just going to keep going. Because it's the topic. It's the topic all Arsenal fans talking about. Got even more of it. Long grain rice. More rice. Look at that. Look at those long grains. Delicious long grains.
Ooh.
What would you have that with?
That looks nice. That goes nice. You know what? That goes nice with a goulash.
Oh, goulash. That sounds very exotic.
Yes, it goes nice with a Hungarian goulash.
Got F1 on the telly, Ashes on the tablet, Tom Sam on the mobile. That's the way I would do it if I was. I wouldn't have Ashes on the mobile and then us on the telly because you've seen us. So why would you have us in the biggest format? Baz Matty is one, but I'm going to tell you. To me, right now, the most intriguing player is Timber, as I know very little about him. I know he's probably going to do less well in the summer because of the heat. So. Yeah.
I just keep thinking that Pitbull song. I can't get it out of my head every time I see that. It's ruined me, that bloody Pitbull song. Going down, going timber. Oh God!
But I managed to actually obtain one off the internet of one that I actually eat. It's my favourite rice. It's egg fried rice with pork.
Oh yes. That's
from my local. Yes. I found it. I looked for it. So,
but that's a bit, Tom. That's not really rice anymore, is it? Come on, let's be honest here.
No, but without the pork bits, it is rice. Egg fried rice.
Yeah, but then it's just normal rice, isn't it?
Yeah, but I also have it with a curry.
Curry. Oh,
dilute. I get I used to get what I called the combination curry. So I had a variety of meats, yeah. And then on top of that, it's surprising. I'll say surprisingly delicious. Not, is it? That is, I believe they put egg peas. To be fair, I asked for it without the peas, to be fair.
That's special fried rice, isn't it? Special fried rice is with peas. I think
we've been to the Alps skiing.
Yeah.
To be fair, you're not the first to have mentioned skiing.
I've been out skiing, boy.
F1 is a joke right now. 99% chance Red Bull will win. Lemon rice, too much going on in the rice and Tom's takeaway. It's true. That's why I go there. There's lots going on. But
yeah.
And then that's basically it for our rice collection. But then I wanted to sort of get in on the price you've paid, okay? Because some would argue it's a pretty penny, all right? And it's not for me to say, but I did find something that sort of shows what it might have been if he was from somewhere other than England.
Risotto. Christ.
So, well, you know, English tax, Premier League tax combined.
Well, it's the
And nearly
market price,
3
isn't it, Tom?
reserves.
It's what's called the market price. It's what the market values him at. It's what the club is willing to pay. That is what the player is. Yeah, Jack Grealish go for 100 million. If Jack Grealish is 100 million, Rice is 100 million. I can understand the logic behind it, even though, you know, it's a terribly high price. But the thing is, he's still young. He's still only 24. He's still got, you know, plenty of good years ahead of him. He can still develop a bit further. I don't think it's that bad a price at all when you look at how good he is. I mean, he's one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. When it comes to, you know, a more, you know, holding role, defensive role. Yeah, so I don't see. And this is the thing, you can never win, can you? Because we pay too much, and then when you don't pay for the big players, Arsenal never pay for the big players. We never spend the big money. So you can never win, can you? Because these bloody whinge bags, they're just never happy.
No, that's fair. What I would say though, I think you've got to keep in mind Jack Grealish wasn't supposed to be sold though. Like they set that fee in the assumption no one would pay it.
But at the end of the day, Tom, something's only worth what someone's willing to pay for it.
That's true. I said that.
I mean, your lovely Hulk Hogan doll that you have in your cup every night on the show. I mean, you can want 10 million quid for that. That's what you think it's worth sentimentally to you. But good luck trying to get someone to pay 10 million quid for it.
I'd sell it for 200.
So, but then if someone comes along and says, "Hey, that doll there, I've seen that go for in some auction or whatever for 200 for it," and you say, "Yeah, that sounds like a fair price. It's worth 200 quid, isn't it?"
Just quickly, what I'm going to have once this stream finishes, Colonel, I'm going to take a nice little walk down to my local Bangladeshi place, and I'm going to have a chicken curry with some mushroom rice, and I'm going to have a Peshwari naan. That's the one with a bit of coconut in it.
Oh, you go fancy, don't you, Tom? I like it. You go fancy.
Yeah. Dip it. Yeah,
Dip it, baby.
Sorry, I was just...
Dip it, baby.
Yeah. Actual race is tomorrow. Austria is a home race for Red Bull. Yeah, it's true.
Who cares about Formula One?
The man. Yeah. Welcome for Stan.
He really does. Hates Verstappen with a passion.
Verstappen.
And I agree with Riddy here. This is exactly Riddy's point. Riddy makes a good point here.
It's true. It's all the complaints that I've seen, a significant portion of your fan base make. You've gone and done what they were complaining you never do.
Exactly.
And I'm going to assume those individuals are still complaining. I don't know.
Oh, it's going to be something else now, isn't it? It's going to be, oh, he's not worth that much. Oh, we shouldn't have paid more than 80 for him or something like that. Go fucking suck an egg, honestly.
But then if Man City had signed him and it would have been, it's because, and the narrative would have become, it's because we didn't offer 105.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd have been, you should have, or not you, it'd be, we should have offered 105.
Yeah.
And it's like,
it'd been, Edu won't pay the money. Edu won't pay the money. Josh Kroenke won't provide the money.
Is that Bret Hart? Yes. Yeah,
it is.
You're wearing an
extremely overweight and ugly version, but yes.
Well, I would have never said that, but we're going to go on to Arsenal Fan Circle. Ray, welcome. Even though I don't know if it's...
Big up Ray, the voice of raisins.
Tom, Arsenal could set 150 million for Saka, but we know someone would pay eventually. Interesting. Who, out of interest, right? I was about to say who would pay it, but there's only 3 teams that would pay it, right?
Just about, yeah.
Like, off the top of my head, it's Man City, PSG. And I'm not saying that would be a good move for him. I'm just saying they could afford the transfer.
Yeah.
Not necessarily saying he would say yes to it, but if it came down to it, they could slap it on the. And then I guess Real Madrid would.
Yeah, you got Real Madrid, possibly Barcelona.
Then they would, yeah. But then they would sit and demand. Oh, Barcelona couldn't afford it. Real Madrid would sit and go, oh, we need Super League money because the Premier League are outbidding us. It's like, it's your fault in the first place, lads. Because.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Anyway. But they had all the transfer records. And now that they haven't, all of a sudden there's a money problem in football. Anyway, if Mbappe leaves PSG on the free next summer, Arsenal are going to make a move, apparently.
That'd be crazy. I'd absolutely love that, but that would be crazy if we did that. Wow. Yeah.
I think my immediate inclination was to laugh at it, but I know that I could quite easily be clipped and it come back on me. So.
But the thing is, though,
at the end of the day, you're second in the league, so it's not the worst. It's not the strangest idea.
The thing is, though, I think it's been sort of like agreed behind the scenes for a while now that he's going to go to Real Madrid. I think that's where his destination is.
Yeah, it's one of those. He's had his heart set on it for a long time.
Yeah, because he was supposed to go to Real Madrid last season, but he decided to stay for one more year, basically.
I think it ties into what I was saying about like Real Madrid are not happy with the current climate of football. Is that they offered what I don't know what it was. Let's say it was 150 to 200 million for him last summer. Now he's got 1 year left on his deal at the time, and PSG said no. There's no other team on earth that would say no. Man City would have sold him because no one's above to them in that regard. So they would have gone, yeah, we can get 200 million off you, and we probably get 30 of these charges knocked off in the process.
I was reading that PSG have set the asking price at 250 million.
Well, and like you said earlier, they might as well have set it at $1 billion because everyone's just going to sit there and go, yeah, we can wait 365.
Yeah. You've got to be crazy to pay that when he's out of contract next summer.
Yeah. I think it was more, I definitely think it was more like PSG trying to win a dick measuring contest by saying no to the as if like, we don't need your money, we'd rather have the plan because he's our best chance of winning the Champions League. But then the problem with that is that only then looks good if you say they'd gone on to win the Champions League all summer. It would have been they could have had 200 million, but they'd rather the trophy. They're going to end up with neither.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? It's very difficult to sell at a price where Real Madrid would be, PSG would be happy with the price he's sold for, and Real Madrid would be happy with the price they're paying for him, considering he's going to be out of contract next summer. So, that's a very thin line to walk, isn't it? Where both parties are satisfied. It's going to be very difficult, I think, to negotiate a fee there. So he's probably just going to wind down, and at the end, PSG loses because they're going to end up letting him go for free. So he's going to have some kind of bonus or something like that. They has to pay PSG, but the thing is, he's virtually going to go for free.
I think go Chris Nix's comment when you tried to pay 40 million at £1.
You see that this here is. So many people have misunderstood what happened in this situation. The reason people are thinking we did that 40 plus 1 just to be fastidious and to be just, to be idiots and it's 40 million, here's 41 million, 40 plus £1. It was actually to trigger the release clause. That's what it was, because apparently Arsenal were told, apparently they thought that he had a £40 million release clause at the time. And actually they did. But he actually came out and said, what's his name? Henry, the guy who
John
guy
Henry.
who owned Liverpool. Does he still own Liverpool? But anyway, a Henry guy. He came out and said, yeah, they wanted to trigger the release clause, but we didn't want to sell to Arsenal. It was up to us to who we could sell to, apparently, in the contract. So there was a release clause. At the same time, Liverpool could also decide who they wanted to sell to, and that's what Arsenal wasn't aware of. So that was it turned out to be a very strange thing, and it made us look really, really stupid. But I think we were actually trying to trigger his release clause and get him signed without realizing that Liverpool and Henry could say, no, sorry, we're not selling to you.
Interesting. That's a large release clause.
Yeah, that's a typical one they do in Spain to keep people off of trying to buy him, really. But it's all just on paper.
Next, I'd quite like to do a new segment on the show where I've took the steering wheel off Gary, so mess around a bit. Who was the first German to play for the Arsenal?
Ever?
Release question of the week. I've just thought off the top of my head, so I couldn't think of anything more fancy.
Ever? Is it someone from before the 90s? I'm trying to think. Did we have someone back in the day?
It's going to be someone in the 30s, surely.
Someone exchange program.
I don't know the answer. Yeah, we're going to have we've got answers such as Alberto Mendes or Stefan Maltz.
I think Maurice Waltz. I think Alberto Mendes comes before Maurice Waltz. They're about the same time, Maurice Waltz and Alberto.
I'm gonna quite quickly step back and be like, I don't know, because all the Germans I can think of that played for Arsenal are obviously not going to be correct. Because I doubt you. I assume you had Germans before the 1990s.
Yeah, I was going to think we must have had a German before this lot that's mentioned now. Then in the 90s they are. Trying to think, do we have someone? I'm sure we did. Back in the 70s or 80s, something like that. It was actually Alberto Mendes. Wow, okay, so we didn't have anyone before the mid 90s, basically. Then.
Well done to all the Googlers out there. Well done. I don't know. Who's going to be my next? So
I saw Alberto Mendes on the Underground actually after an Arsenal game. I'd been to Highbury once, and he was on the Underground, and no one recognised him. He was just a squad player back then.
Okay, so we are going to have. There you go.
Let's do the next section, Tom. Where are we going now, Tommy boy?
Well, I'll be honest. I didn't really have anything planned, right? Because, well, for the obvious reasons, right? But I'll tell you this: who is your? No, actually, I'll tell you what. We're going to reveal who my new foreign team is, right?
Your new foreign team?
Yeah. Yeah, no, we already established that True Fan Harry Rod FC, my true love in Afghanistan, okay? And FK Dynamo Tirana, the joy of my heart in Albania. And Newell's Old Boys. And Martin Bielsa and our connections made them my Argentine team. But I bet you don't know who my team in Algeria is.
Team in Algeria?
Team in Algeria. Team in Algeria. Yeah.
Could it
Premier League, yeah.
Could it be
You're a fucker, Colonel.
Could it be Vindaloo FC?
Vindaloo Stain. No, I might be considering them for my Indian Premier League team. No,
All right.
I'm joking. But no, actually, I do have ideas for my IPL football team, but we ain't there yet in the alphabet, all right? I'm actually going
true.
with MC Oran.
MC Oran.
Yeah.
You sure that's not? You sure that's not like it's not like a rapper?
I've been watching them. Nah, since I was partly, but since I was a little boy, I've been watching them on the terraces. I was badgering my dad to get me a shirt. Just wonderful memories of me and MC Oran about the Algerian top division.
Wow, that Algerian football is magical.
It really is. I mean, I just don't know what to say. Stefan Harrington has made Antonio, so I got that wrong, has made his way in, which basically means that he got a bit of FOMO. He was like, I'm on Ryan's chat, but I don't know if I'm missing out on anything. On the road trip, let's go and see what's going on. You're not really missing out on that much. You missed out on Riddy's question of the week. It was really good. It's good. MC Oran sounds like an Irish DJ.
Yeah, MC Oran sounds like an Irish DJ. Can I sing a fucking Beyonce Noel song to you? That's what we'll say every Friday night.
Oh, this is a great question. Meanwhile, England need 370 to win at Lords and all the series. I mean, England ain't going to get that because they've been atrocious.
Oh.
Terrible. Anyway, Stefan says it's down back over in a bit. Thank you for the cameo, sir. Russ Morgan.
Where's he come from?
Ryan's doing a watch-along of the England ladies versus the Portugal ladies.
Come on, Stefan. You know it's much more fun here with the boys. You're one of the boys, Stefan. Don't let me down, boy. And Colonel, you want to know how many of me would go in a 2x4 toilet? First of all, it's a very strange question, but that's what I've come to expect from you because you're a very strange person. But I expect probably get a few of you in a 2x4 toilet. I don't know how many, but probably a few.
Put that out. Just why not? Russ Morgan's hybrid wrestling football question of the week. Who's the only Raw general manager's namesake to play for Arsenal?
Raw general managers' names? Huh?
Yeah.
What?
Oh.
What? I don't get the question.
There must be a Raw Monday Night Raw general manager who also has the same name as an Arsenal player. Now, off the top of my head, you have Mike Adamley, Bischoff, Jonathan Coachman, kind of did it, Baron Corbin. I don't know, Russ. I have no idea. I mean, this question, most people are going to be like, I fucking hate this question. I don't know this question. And I don't know the answer, but it's popped me a little bit because I just didn't see it coming.
That's a
Russ Morgan. Yeah, you're telling me. Russ Morgan, please let us know who is the only Raw general manager to play for Arsenal. Namesake, of course.
Oh, don't really know the wrestling stuff. Bischoff.
Oh, the second name, Bischoff.
Marie Bischoff, remember him.
I thought we meant the full name. I was thinking, that's really random. Anyway, great question, though, even if I slightly misunderstood it.
So Chris has got a question for us.
Has he? Didn't see. I didn't notice. I've spelled his name wrong, haven't I? Sorry, Chris. That's embarrassing. But we'll pretend that never happened. So, who are Adrionians playing today in a friendly?
Who the fuck are Adrionians?
They're in Scotland.
Is that a type? Is that a type of hemorrhoids?
Oh well. Okay. I wonder who it is.
I really don't know. They sound like they don't sound very good anyway.
I'm sure they're not. But let's go through club friendlies. Well, I know FC Romania lost 4-3 at Cheshunt.
FC Romania.
That's a football team in London.
Well, FC Romania, bloody hell.
Yeah. I've seen them play. Sure.
Did you?
I think they played London Borough.
Crikey.
In the Essex Senior League.
The Essex Senior League, of all the amazing leagues out there, the Essex Senior League.
Yeah, with such esteemed teams as Clapton.
Wow. I haven't even seen if there's a stadium. I don't think there's a proper stadium here. I mean, not even a tiny little crappy one.
Clapton used to play at a ground called the Spotted Dog in Forest Gate, behind the pub.
I haven't seen like even a tiny little crappy ground anywhere around here.
No, they're not Clapton as in like Jaywick. They're in East London.
Oh, right.
Yeah, sorry, I'm thinking, no, they're not.
No, you said the Essex League,
more
so
local to me than you. Yeah. Before we get to the answer, change of formation, really, as breaking news. You should have wrote breaking news. It would have gone up quicker because it is. Ashes on telly, F1 post-print tablet, Sam on mobile. He swapped we're the only part of that never changed.
Yeah, we're obviously the least important of that, which is a bit of a damn shame, to be honest.
Oh no, I know what's about to happen. His guest, Motherwell. Come on, Chris, type it out right now. He already had it typed out. He's about to press enter on. Come on, Chris, do it, Chris Sticks. Come on. It's gonna make me look silly because I just now look like I'm wanking off the Invisible Man. But what? I mean,
he's enjoying
she's fine. Yes. I knew it. She's fine, thanks.
Chris.
Oh,
no. Oh my God.
He needs to be banned from type. His Motherwell fetish.
That's not the only fetish he's got.
Their manager's name is Kettlewell.
Kettlewell.
Yeah, it's still working, thanks.
Yeah, it's still working. Like.
But no, seriously, that is his name. That was it
What a name.
for your Chris Nicks football question of the week.
Wow.
And just for in case Russ is listening, Russ is quite right. Eric Bischoff was the best Raw general manager, so it works.
Yeah.
With dyed black hair and yeah. Do you know Wednesday's episode of the Full Nelson is banned in the following countries?
What have you been banned?
We've been banned in the following countries. You cannot watch that episode in the country of Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, the Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan, Russia, and Sri Lanka.
And the reason is?
It is basically, I believe Sony Pictures have the rights to Monday Night Raw in Asia, and we might go out before their footage gets over there, so they might have been a bit terrified. He's showing what happens. It's the video clips. Yeah. So, yeah. That was my understanding. Fortunately, we've only been blocked in those countries. It's not actually like a copyright strike, which would be far more disastrous. Because 3 of those and you're off YouTube.
Yeah. Right.
But no, they actually, in the email, they actually make a point of like, I can challenge it if I want. But the reality is that I literally have done what I literally did what they've said I've done. So.
As Stan the Man's alluding to in his last comment there, you're big in Bhutan.
Yeah, I've got Nepalese fans. They're really upset. They're really upset. I like Mick Foley with Mobile Office. The only thing with that, Stan, is that he was actually held the role of commissioner at that time. Raw general manager wasn't the thing. But I agree, his Mobile Office was great. He built an office on the back of a forklift, for example. Yeah, that's the thing that happened. That's the thing that happened.
Character.
What was the best Arsenal double winning team out of 71, 98, 2002? It's your 2002 team, surely.
The 98 team was bloody good as well.
Yeah, but 2002 has the spine of the Invincibles.
Yeah, the spine of them.
I mean, you won it at Old Trafford.
That was 98. No,
98, you won it against Everton.
No, but the actual, we won that was a. 2002. Talk about that's when we won. We actually won the league at the Spurs ground.
That was 2004.
2002. Did we win at Old Trafford? I know we won in 98 at Old Trafford. We won the game. That's when Wiltord scored.
Yeah.
Wiltord.
Yeah, no, you won. Overmars scored at 98 because I remember watching it on the Saturday morning.
Oh, that was the Overmars one, wasn't it? 98, and then is it 2002? There's Wiltord then.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we did it twice, didn't we? Old Trafford beat them twice.
Stan quite rightly pointing out it's a shame we're massive in Bhutan. It's true. And on warm days we're massive everywhere. But anyway,
I think Bhutan is one of those
footage or a scripted show.
Bhutan is one of those countries that's got very like closed society. It's very like very strict, very disciplinarian, very, very old school. Hence why you don't get so much tourism.
I really did push my luck with the footage. I know I was, but
yeah,
it's not a problem.
Anyway,
don't copyright material in future. You're right, Colonel. We got a slap on the wrist. It's true.
Okay.
78, 71, I mean, and I was 3 in 71, and then 02, Wiltord.
Yeah, 02 was Wiltord. It was Overmars in 98. That was right, Overmars down the left side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with that guy in the crowd going.
Yeah. There were key games we won then. That was brilliant.
98 Anelka was on a different level.
Yeah. Anelka was he was the way he was developing for us was just absolutely massive. He was, I mean, that's one of those regrets that he left. His brothers got to him. His brothers got into his head, got into the money side of it all, and got him a huge deal to Real Madrid straight away. If he'd have just stayed at Arsenal for a few seasons, he could have been absolutely massive. Maybe Henry wouldn't have, arguably then maybe Henry wouldn't have happened, which is true, which, I'm glad we got Henry instead, basically. But Anelka was such an amazing player. He was so talented. And then he left and basically, he still turned out to be a good player, but I still think if he'd have stayed at Arsenal a few seasons, he could have been really, really incredible.
Yeah, obviously you got a massive, was it one world record transfer fee, was it? But you got a lot of money.
It was close. We paid only about 500 grand for him from PSG. Basically we got him from it. He was very young. He was 17 when he came. And his pace and finishing ability, he was really good. He came straight in the team, basically kept Ian Wright out of it. And yeah, he was and then everything sort of went to his head after the first season when he was really good. His two brothers who were his agents were like, yeah, we can get you a move to Real Madrid, we'll get you loads of money, blah, blah, blah. And I think we ended up selling him for, I can't remember now. I'm sure the chat will remember, but back then it was a nice
off the top of my head, I think it was.
Pardon?
Off the top of my head, it was 22 million.
Yeah, that's it. About that, I think sounds right. And that was a huge transfer fee back then. And obviously, after only having bought him for 500 grand, that was a huge, huge profit we got from him. But it was sad to see him going, and that's the way he led his career, basically. He never played for a football team more than about 2 seasons in a row, did he? He ended up playing for about 20 different teams, didn't he? Just kept going from team to team like a nomad.
Yeah, Stan saying 22 million as well.
Yeah, it was about that.
Is he like an example? He's obviously not a failure in football, so let's get it straight. I'm not saying that. But he's an example of a player who obviously the worst thing you could give him was money because he doesn't fit in anywhere long enough to... He's like Craig Bellamy type. Like, he just seems to not settle anywhere.
Yeah, you're right. There's, I think a lot of it is down to his attitude. He had a very poor attitude, There was talk of that as well, off the pitch, that he could be a bit of a handful. But his brother, I think his brothers, him and his family, his brothers, and that caused a lot of crap. I don't think it was very good. Yeah, he's a bit like a Balotelli.
Yeah, it is. It's like the example I most associate with this sort of thing is obviously my own team was we bought a player called Thomas Brolin. I say that as if no one knows. I think a lot of people know who Thomas Brolin is. But we paid in inflation in 1995. We paid the modern day equivalent of 90 million for Thomas Brolin. It obviously wasn't. It was about 6 million. But the wages he was on basically put him in the mindset of, I actually don't need to play football anymore.
Yeah.
Because I'm earning so much money playing for this mid-table Premier League team. Keep in mind, this man scored in World Cup quarter-final and played in the semi-final.
Brolin for Sweden. Brolin for Sweden and for Parma, he was really good.
The problem is that Leeds obviously only saw highlights on a Saturday morning on Italian football on Channel 4. Because he apparently got in. Yeah, but he apparently got injured, and it was like one of those injuries where you come back for it, and it's one of 2 ways. You're either, generally you're not going to be the same player. But then Leeds went, no, fuck it. We've got our World Cup 94 highlights video, and he's fucking amazing on that. So we're going to fucking throw down all this money at him. And it was like, yeah, he was injured a lot, though. And then when he did play, he was shite.
It was obviously your chance to get quite a big name player, wasn't it? You know, it was your chance to get hold of a quite big name player.
Exactly. But you need the player to also be motivated. But obviously, like I was saying with these footballers, especially in that time where like Premier League was starting to throw around money, not to the degree it is now, but
how many goals did he end up scoring for Leeds?
I could look it up, but I imagine it'd be about 4.
Yeah, it wasn't many.
I can Google it right now, but I know he scored a goal against Sheffield Wednesday where he was on the floor, kicked at his head, and it went in.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
That Brolin was a bit past it, really. I think when he came to you, he was a bit like you're saying, mentally not quite there, lost it.
But the money we threw at him basically was like, no matter what happens, you're probably not going to have to do anything for the rest of your life. I was right. 4 goals, 19 appearances, 4 goals. Yeah,
your gut instinct was correct. Yeah, it was good.
And then we fucked him off out on loan to Zurich, back to Parma, and then we let him go to Crystal Palace.
Thomas Brolin.
Yeah, where we then went on to have the inauspicious record of 13 appearances and no goals.
Brolin, he had a very round face, like a little baby face, like a round baby face. Very like cutie.
Yeah, round like all the cheese wheels he likes, probably. By then Thomas Brolin starting to look like an old woman. That's a fair comment.
I think Darlene was like that. The other Swedish striker ended up at Blackburn, wasn't it?
Brolin is not the best player. See, it got a Leeds fan in Sweden right now, Anders, right? Anders, who is the best player you've seen at Leeds? He's going to say Pablo Hernandez or Rafinha, probably. But I know he's not going to say Thomas Brolin. Julio banned Anelka brothers from being involved in the Anelka deal. That's why it collapsed. That makes sense. Yeah. Marco van Basten, He got derailed by injury though. Like if he hadn't, he would have been.
Yeah.
He would have came to the Premier League probably.
That volley you scored,
oh.
From the back, from the far post, and just wow.
I know it weren't West Indies because I've seen the headline that says they didn't qualify for the World Cup. Sorry. Where's Gary? Has he left Mr. Thomas? Gary is in he's on vacation, so we are stepping in.
Yes, the mice have come out to play.
Tony Yeboah, he's 32 goals for Leeds.
Yeboah was a great player. I've got to give it to you. He was a fantastic striker. Wow, enjoyed watching him play.
My favourite Yeboah moments. One of my favourite Tony Yeboah moments, well, apart from when he took the shirt off and threw it at George Graham. In hindsight, that's quite funny. In hindsight, it was funny. At the time, it was a bit like, Tony, what are you doing?
Yeah.
He obviously knew that George Graham was a bit of a wrong, and so he was kind of foresight.
Yeah.
But to be fair to him, one of my favourite moments for him was when he in the League Cup semi-final at Birmingham. He basically does this chip where like he's looking he's chipped it, but he knows it's going in, so he's already turning to do the celebration.
Yeah.
Except it hits the bar and comes back out. And then he does his like trademark like fit, and he looks round and he sees that it hasn't gone in because no one else followed him. And it was like, nice one, Tony.
He's
also the greatest goals in the Premier League history. So.
Yeboah had some fantastic goals. He was just a classic, just real natural striker, just real good finishing, good, good skill. Yeah, just a very, very entertaining player to watch.
The best Swedish player. Yeah, Pontus Jansson was excellent for Leeds, to be fair to him. We lost a lot when he left. I will say that. Have you ever seen Brolin's music video with Bjorn Borg?
Oh God.
I
don't think
have
I've seen
seen
that.
his attempts at music. I mean, did he create his own record label or something like that? Rod
So
Wallace
God
was
knows.
the lead.
Brolin did loads of
It
weird
was
crap.
Rod Wallace is a BBC Goal of the Season winner, if I remember rightly, for Leeds. So we have good pedigree in that competition in the 90s.
Chris has got a question
Premier
there.
League goal? I mean,
That's a tough
obviously,
one.
I'm going to have total bias, right? But I do think it is Yeboah against Wimbledon.
That was a great goal. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great goal.
But I know
His
you're going
favourite-
to, like, I know people are going to say Dennis Bergkamp against Newcastle, Bergkamp at Leicester. They're not even the best goals that Dennis Bergkamp scored.
You know, Bergkamp had some amazing goals. Definitely. That was probably arguably his best due to the skill involved needed to do it. Yeah, that's high up there. I must say, maybe just slightly nicks it ahead of that goal for me is Henry's flick up and shot over Bartes against Man United.
Yeah.
Because no one saw that coming, and just the sheer audacity and creativity and, you know, skill to do that, to just flick it up, turn around and shoot it, you know, in one movement basically, and just perfectly lob Bartes with it with his shot. Oh, that for me, that just slightly pips the Bergkamp goal.
What was I going to say? Bergkamp. Yeah, I think that was one of the first goals that Sky when they first Sky Digital first came a thing, and they proper went in on the Premier League, like, we're going to have a camera follow around a player for 15 minutes.
Yeah,
I can't remember what they called it, but they had like 6 segments of different players, and the camera
I think they called it player cam or something, didn't they?
You're probably right, but I can't remember it. So, and I think he's one of the first players that they actually were following him when he scored.
Yeah.
And it was that.
That's brilliant. Brilliant.
I could be wrong, but I think it was quite early in the season as well, so it's likely. Tony Curry was actually one of my dad's favourite Leeds players in the mid-70s.
Yeah, Curry's a blast from the past.
He had a T-shirt that said Tony Curry is hopped off, which in hindsight is highly gay, right? As I often say to him, I went, "You're wearing another T-shirt saying that another man's hot stuff," and he was like, "He was just one of my favourite players." I don't care really, but I like to gentle ribbing, yeah, gentle ribbing. It's fine.
Did Raw Fox ever play for Leeds? I played. He was good for Norwich.
He played for Norwich, Newcastle, Tottenham. Off the top of my head.
Right, Tottenham. Right, that's it. Yeah, Tottenham. I thought it was Leeds in a white shirt, but it wasn't. It was Tottenham.
I think this is a good shout from Chris Nix, because I can describe this goal in one word: filth. This goal was absolute filth, where he just launches it over the goalkeeper from an obscene angle. Good call. Henry, Man United flick and volley. Yeah. Chris Nix, Bergkamp versus Newcastle, overrated.
Nah,
okay.
There's no way.
Chris is in a fighty mood.
You absolute heathen.
Bergkamp getting the top 3 spots for goal a month. That's impressive.
Yeah,
and I imagine it's probably the
only
time it happened.
I remember that hat-trick he had against Leicester. I think 2 of those goals, that hat-trick he had against Leicester, were like goal of the month goals. They were incredible.
Wimbledon goal better than Liverpool. Yeah, that's my take on it. Yeboah. I mean, the fact is, like, that people forget is, like, he scored those goals like weeks apart. Like, it was like for 2 weeks, and he went and did it again. Rocky's chip against United. I'm
Yeah,
guessing that would
volley.
have been early 90s. Like
Very early 90s, yeah. Very
90,
early 90s.
91, imagine. RVP volley against Charlton.
Yeah, that was another
That
good
still
goal.
is. Johnny Giles smacking Kevin Keegan in the face at Wembley. Do you mean Bremner? Because Bremner and Kevin Keegan were the first players sent off in the Charity Shield for that fight. Omri against Liverpool.
That was another good goal.
I love how often they show that to Jamie Carragher.
Oh, you must be sick still watching that. You must feel sick.
Amazing goal.
Talking about the Bergkamp goal again.
Context of best ever. Well, the only reason I agree with this, right, in the sense that
I'm not saying it's a bad goal.
No, the only no is because, as I've said, it's not even the best goals he has scored. His goal against Holland his goal against Argentina for Holland, excuse me.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Was incredible. A lot of people got hit in that match, Russ. It was incredible. It just the context of the game as well, like the game dying out, it's going to extra time, and he's just like, fuck it. Just takes down this long ball from one of the Boer brothers and just fucking filths it into the top corner.
But I just think that skill. You're in the Premier League. You're against a very, very tough defender. That Newcastle defender, that Tabisas, or whatever his name was. He was a very capable, very skillful defender, and to just have the vision and the skill and the quality to just take that touch that he turns into a spin to spin the ball past into the space past the defender. I mean, that is just. There's very few players in history, I think, that would have had that same vision to do that. I'm not saying they could have done it. I'm not saying that Bergkamp has done it or would have done it better than them, but I'm just saying there's very few players, I think, in my opinion, in football history that would have had that vision and the absolute ability to follow through on what he did there. Because what he did, that was just naughty. Absolutely naughty.
The best goal I think Bergkamp scored for Arsenal is one he played Sunderland in FA Cup tie, and he literally twirls over the ball like a ballerina, and then on the spin round he flicks it into the top corner, and I was like,
yeah,
it's incredible, incredible. And that's why I think it's not even the best goal he scored for Arsenal. That's what I think the best goal was scored for Arsenal, but.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's people have different opinions, of course. Just in my opinion, when you look at the skill and what's involved in that Bergkamp goal against Newcastle, it's at St James's Park as well.
I mean, it's important to say I don't have the same investment in it. I'm more objective.
No, you're more neutral. You're more neutral, absolutely. So, us Arsenal fans probably put a little bit more into it and what neutral fans do, but but even I've said it's not my personal favourite Arsenal Premier League goal. That is the Henry one against Man United, when he flicks and chips Bartes.
That's almost certainly going to be before the Premier League assembled. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it would have been.
Hoddle was before the Premier League.
Disagrees. Best goal in history, but Carlos was France. Again, absolute filth for a free kick.
Yeah, we're talking Premier League now, though, aren't we?
I believe that is the question he posed. I suppose this has been taken in multiple directions, to be fair. But the pass with Pires was bad, but he still tucked it away. Where he should, he's Dennis Bergkamp. Peter Crouch scored a similar goal against City. Kick went never in the ground till it was in the back of the net. Ball was headed to Crouch and he two-touched into the goal. I mean, but you've seen Peter Crouch's wife. I mean, he's already doing too well in life, so I don't like praising him too much.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, I'm pretty sure he's a nice fella. One of my favourite things he's done. A guy, so he done something, and the guy went, "You're really sand, Peter. I'm going to stop masturbating over your wife," on Twitter. And then Peter Crouch replied, "Cheers, mate." But
yeah, it seems all right, old Crouchy.
my most surprising Arsenal goal, Scorpion. I hate the Scorpion kick from Giroud. I hate it, right? And you're going to say, like, "Oh, you're being salty," because no. What I don't like about it is it's an amazing goal, but you were 3-0 down and you've just got back to 3-3. Why isn't he trying to retrieve the fucking ball to then get back, to get the game started? Because you've got the momentum that you're going to win the game if you kick off again.
No, he's probably buzzing from the goal, isn't he? Buzzing from the goal.
Of course he is. Oh, of course it's the only explanation. But I was still watching. Oh, again though, as someone who's not invested, I'm watching it like, why aren't you grabbing the ball?
Yep, you're right. You should have done that. Good old Pat Jennings. Wow, he had huge hands. He did that, Pat Jennings. He had massive hands. Crouch scoring against Trinidad, holding on to 2 defenders. I don't recall that goal, to be honest. I don't recall that goal.
I remember it being rather. I remember being rather controversial at the time. Obviously, we were all relieved that we'd finally gone ahead.
Yeah,
because Trinidad. It was
one of those games. Like, come on, we've got to be winning. Yeah. You know, it's one of those games, wasn't it?
But if they'd have scored that goal on us, the Sun newspaper would have been hunting down the referee.
Yeah.
2 down England and I've won by
2 wickets.
Luis Suarez or Thierry Henry. I would go with Thierry Henry for multiple reasons. I think it's quite clear Thierry Henry's less of a cunt.
Thierry Henry's not a cannibal.
Or a racist, allegedly.
Yeah, you know, there's that as well. I just think Henry's an overall better player overall. You can maybe
Suarez
argue.
Is obviously a great footballer. Let's get that right. He's
Suarez.
Good to great.
You could maybe argue that Suarez was a better finisher than Henry. You know, he's probably got a better finishing ratio than Henry. But overall, the way they played and how they could influence games, I just think Henry, you know, eclipses Suarez for his overall ability. You know,
honestly, in these situations, right, you're not asking it as if, like, is one good and is one bad? Because that's obviously not the case. For Luis Suarez to even be in the question means he's a good footballer, right? But at the same time,
no, it's a good question, you know, and it's
you know what they say about men with big hands?
They've got big hands. They've got big hands.
Omos has got big hands. You should see his wife on his wedding night.
Oh, look at Chris.
Look with rickets.
For Suarez.
How's that even a serious question? You know what? I'm sure you've just written some really compelling arguments, but I can cover it and just go, come on, lads, I'll support Liverpool. For the same reasons that the Arsenal fans are going to pick Thierry Henry, because that's for Arsenal. And why I'm going to pick Tony Yeboah, because I'm an idiot.
Tony Yeboah was very good. Got to hand it to him. He was a very good striker.
He was, but he ain't getting in these fucking discussions. He's more of a cult hero.
He's not quite at that level, but he was very good. Bless him.
He's a definition of like a line you see on Twitter a lot: the streets to remember.
Yeah.
Even if the history books won't, but R9, Ronaldinho, Rivaldo were the best front three in world football in 2002. They were. I don't think they won anything, to be fair.
That was a pretty good trio, though, weren't they? But yeah, I don't think they actually won anything. That's true.
I could be wrong. It could turn out they won a Copa del Rey or they did win the league or that. But I get the feeling that the early 2000s were basically swapped between Real Madrid and Valencia.
Yeah.
If I remember rightly, 2002 was when Barcelona were needing hat-tricks from Ronaldo on the final day just to get in the top four.
Something like that, yeah.
I'm more than talking club like for Barcelona. Didn't. Really sad. Sam, what do you think of Timber coming?
Yeah, I think he's an exciting player. Seems to be a very good prospect from what I've read from him, from people who apparently have watched quite a lot of him, know a lot about Dutch football, say he's a very good prospect. He can play. I think one of the roles that we're interested in using him in is he can play an inverted right back. So I think when you look at the way we could set up maybe with four at the back with Zinchenko inverted and Timbo inverted on the right, it'll be very interesting to see how we play, how that works. So yeah, if that's the reason he's been brought in, that could be very interesting to see. Yeah. But yeah, he's. I think he's a good buy. You know, there's a few other teams out for him. He wanted to choose Arsenal, a decent price as well. Looks like we got him for about 30 million, which is not bad.
Really says Timber could be someone who could turn defending into attacks very quickly.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the reasons. I think that's what we're seeing from all the players we're getting now. Havertz is a very high intensity, high press player. Rice is that as well. He's a high intensity, high press. Together with Ødegaard, who also does the same. It's about winning that ball as quickly as possible, pressing, as much as possible, and turning that ball you intercept to that ball you sort of force from the opposition into an attack as quickly as possible. And I think with the likes of Havertz, Ødegaard, Rice, I think we could, together with the front three, create a lot of chances. I think we can become a lot more dangerous in our play, and that would be very interesting to see.
There's not really much I can add to that because I've only ever heard of Timber's existence from tweets saying that Arsenal were interested. So there's that. I'm going Arsenal forever with a R9. Fat Ronaldo or Romario, who is a better finisher. I'm going to say Romario personally because he was the first exotic world superstar that I knew of in football. I went to football in the '94 World Cup in case anyone didn't know. Or watch the
same here. That was the first full World Cup I saw. I saw everything. Yeah. Romario and Bebeto together up front. Wow, they were awesome, weren't
they? They were unlike anything I'd ever, because I'd seen bits and pieces of football, but I didn't really register it. But then they made you look at the screen like they were like, we get the ball, something's about to happen.
Yeah.
And just Romario was he creates a thought in me like what's missing from football now is because football is so, the internet has made the world a lot smaller place as such. Like in theory, you can watch anything if you know where to look and that, but you can see football from anywhere. And partly because of the expansion of the Premier League, all the best players in the world are here. In 1994, or in that era, the only time you really got to see Romario play football was when he turned up in the World Cup. How were you going to watch Dutch football in 1993?
Do you remember there was we had it in Norway? I don't know if you had it in the UK, probably not, but we had Eurosport, and Eurosport had this every weekend. They had this Euro goals, and basically what it did was it would go through all the goals scored, apart from the there was a couple of leagues. It didn't show La Liga, it didn't show Premier League, and it didn't show Ligue 1. Because of the rights, it wouldn't, because of television rights, it wouldn't show.
Oh yeah, Sky had La Liga.
It wouldn't show highlights from those leagues, but it showed highlights from all the other leagues basically around Europe, and it was brilliant because you could see then the top Belgian teams, you could see the top Dutch teams, you know, the top Portuguese teams, you know, you could see them their you know players and their goals because you get proper highlights from each of the games, and that's where I sort of got into a bit more of the European players back then. It was great. It was great to see. You could actually see some of the players then.
Yeah, I remember I got Sky off the top of my head, got in '97, so I would have been seeing things like that in the late '90s. But I got into football in 1994. So before that, or in the year or so after that, you only saw players at these tournaments, and they were so far ahead of what I was watching on a weekly basis.
Very different way.
It's like World Cups don't have the same magic now because for the most part you see the players every week anyway. They're just in different shirts.
Yeah. It's brilliant though, because I remember you get to see some players who are like really amazing in these other leagues, and you'd sort of follow them a bit, like, oh, how's he getting on? And I remember one player. This is mid '90s now. In the Dutch league for PSV, they were pretty much battling out with Ajax every year.
Yeah,
and they had this. He was Belgian. I'm sure he was Belgian. He was a striker called Luke Nilish. His name was Luke Nilish, and he was amazing.
He broke his leg for Villa.
Did he end up at Villa? I can't remember now, but
yeah, he got a career-ending leg break in a match in Premier League.
Yeah,
but before that, he was incredible.
But when he was in the Netherlands, wow. Seeing him play those games, those highlights, he had incredible highlights every week. He was scoring goals for fun. It was brilliant to watch.
Russ Morgan, the tone is being lowered. So not sure about Euro goals, but I did watch Euro Trash. Do you ever hear of that, Sam? Was you in England?
Yeah, I remember old Euro Trash, yeah.
With old Antoine de Caunes.
Showed all you get a few boobies if you were lucky.
Yeah, but the real trolling behind it, in hindsight, was you would as a 13-year-old male, I'd be like, oh, Lolo Ferrari's got massive, but then I'm tuning out in hindsight the fact that actually 98% of the show was old men bollocks.
Yeah, you're right.
Like it would be like the old man testicle Olympics, but I'd be sitting there going, yeah, I'll tolerate it because they're about to show noughts, but then the next segment would be old man bollocks again, but eventually you'd get anyway. Yeah, good memories. If you like your bacon streaky. Yeah, so. Which current Arsenal player made his Champions League debut against Spurs? Could it be Fabio Vieira?
Could be.
Because obviously not likely to have been a Arsenal player in the Champions League. So I'm guessing it is like who have Spurs been playing? Like the likes of like Sporting Lisbon, Porto, probably.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Tomiyasu, maybe. No, I don't know.
Tomiyasu was at Bologna, I think. Doubtful.
Oh, fair enough.
No, I
Not
think
yeah.
Vieira's a good shout. That was okay, wasn't he? But it was a good shout.
It's a wrong shout, though, unfortunately. Chris Nick's quite rightly saying this World Cup doesn't really feel like it happened. And I remember when Brazil played, the streets were empty, everyone at home watching the game. To be fair, that's quite similar in England, though, during England games.
Yeah.
Feels a bit like 2020, like the old lockdowns. Who could it be? Who have you brought in the last couple of years that would have played against Tottenham in the Champions League? Kai Havertz, of course, is.
Oh,
By Leverkusen.
he's just literally joined the other day, of course. Okay, fine, fair enough.
Yeah. All right. Well done, really. Well done. You stumped the hosts.
Yeah.
There's a prize. I'm not sure you want to collect it though. Sorry,
it's
Gary,
a weekend in Liverpool.
Sorry, Gary, I'm not threatening. I'm not threatening viewers. I'm sorry. Weekend in Liverpool. Yes. Oh God, he'd rather have that. No. He'd be like, oh no, not again.
Yeah. Oh no, not again. I was there the other week. Oh dear.
Got a secret for you, really. Every prize is a weekend in Liverpool. They're really cheap.
Very cheap.
So sorry. Garrett, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get messaged from Garrett going, you mess with my slides, you threaten my guests, you threaten the chat, you had pictures of rice. Not the one that I've been obsessing over. To be fair, though, I still didn't call people in the audience because other guests have called people in the audience. So that's slightly different. I know these people. I know these guys.
No, it's been very cordial.
Sort of. Yeah, exactly. They know my threats ain't really threats.
There ain't no threats, boy.
Still can't get them. It's potentially a shrewd bit of business.
It could be. If we can unlock,
Yes.
What Havertz can do, that is incredible. He's magic. He's absolute magic. If we can unlock him.
The jury is out on him, though, obviously, and will be.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a terrible time at Chelsea, but there have been players who have, been excellent players. They go somewhere, it doesn't work, and then they go somewhere else and it works. There's plenty of examples of that.
Yeah. No, I'm don't get me wrong, it's a big fee, but at the same time, again, it's another one of these things, like, you've got to open the checkbook to get these sort of players.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. It costs money. That's the thing, though. If we want a squad now to compete, this is a squad to compete now. We're getting it slowly, bit by bit now. We're getting a really good competitive squad.
The reality is, if you're going to play money like Brighton, right, the fact is, if you want to pay low and get maximum effort and yield for your money, you're going to get sixth. Because you will still finish below the teams that have spent 200 million.
It'll never work for Arsenal fans either, because they'll be like, who is that? Who is that? Who is that? Oh, he's got amazing Moneyball stats. I don't know. I've never heard of him. I don't want him. That's what Arsenal fans are like. So you can't do Moneyball with Arsenal fans. Arsenal fans are like, even having a go at bloody Kai Havertz and Declan Rice. Declan Rice is too expensive.
Who are you meant to bring in to make people happy?
Fucking Mbappe is the only one who's going to make them happy. Fucking Mbappe, and even he's going to be too expensive. No, these fans they're completely.
Some folk, I think they just need to hold their hands up and go, I don't like the owners. I don't like anything they'll do, and that's it.
Well, that's it. At some point, you just got to admit that you just have an agenda. Your agenda is you don't want Arsenal to succeed because you want change at Arsenal for whatever reason. You want new ownership, whatever. That's your agenda. You can never be happy with Arsenal winning properly. You can never be happy with Arsenal doing good things in the transfer market. You can never be happy with giving players a chance. Just admit you have an agenda. Just admit it. You can't be, happy like most fans, and then just at least admit it. Because all this flip flopping backwards and forwards is a complete joke.
Football's weird, isn't it? So, my comments are drying up a bit. So now I'll get to eulogize for everyone.
I've got a really dry mouth. Fucking humidity here is a joke.
Oh no, I meant the comment section. They've taken a rest.
Yeah, well, we've bored them to death now, haven't we?
Which one do you think is most likely to have actually died from boredom? I mean, not to be morbid or anything.
That's got to be. Don't know. It's got to be Russ. He seems to have a pretty low pulse.
Don't get me wrong though. I think Russ is turning up for our stream. This is obviously my first stream of 2 today. We're doing another live watch along of WWE Money in the Bank live from the O2 Arena, just about 30 minutes away from here.
Oh wow! You have to pay to see that, do you?
No, we can have it on the network. So there's a lot of people at the O2. I was there earlier, so it's crazy. But
yeah, I enjoy commenting on pictures. I do. That's what I like. That's fun.
I've got some. I do actually have a slideshow of my trip to the O2.
Oh.
To see what was going on. I thought I was going to surprise everyone, but I thought I was going to tell you of my experience at the O2 with their.
That sounds interesting.
They had their version of the Crystal Maze.
Yeah, crystal meth. Oh, yeah, Crystal Maze. Right.
Crystal meth. Which member of the Full Nelson podcast is most likely to be caught doing crystal meth?
You got a definite candidate there from Oklahoma.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, he'd do anything as long as it's given to him.
Ben will probably have a go as well.
Only, yeah, Ben's fond of the old recreation. The old recreational. That's the word.
Oh man.
Legally, I'm sure. But yeah. So I want to thank everyone for stopping by. In case anyone wondered, England women, Portugal women, World Cup warm-up friendly, finished goalless.
Oh.
So I'm sure Ryan was enthralled with the football.
Very much so.
Enthralled, young man. Other matches, I wonder how Adrianians and Motherwell did now that he's. Let's have a look.
Just give us 2 seconds. I'll be back in 2 seconds. We can wrap up.
Yeah, no problem. I'm starting to suspect they didn't really play Adrionians, and it was just a joke. But, yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. Is anyone still out there? Is anyone still alive? I mean, I know you are, but yeah. So I will be going back live at roughly 7:45. I might start earlier, depending on how long it takes me to eat my rice and curry and naan bread. The trick is you get your naan bread and you take your rice and you basically like spoon it in and then you fold it. It's rather tasty. But yeah, that's the thing. Let's play a game called Let's Have a Look at Gary's Banners. We've got Tactics Truck with Mr. Tom. My five. Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, Nketiah, and White. Zinc. That's six. That's six, Gary. You can't call something my five and then choose six people. Unbelievable. Pat Bags, commute, break, commute, arrived. Remember to subscribe and like. Mr. Tom's Christmas. No, that's Wednesday. Sorry, that's Mondays. Yeah. We've got some live scores. I think that's from a weekend I'd rather forget. Got some more live scores. Also check out Stan on the Gooner Shack. That's the Gooner Shack. Gooner Shack. Right. It's a Gooner Shack. Yeah. Alonso is Mr. Robot. So for some reason that's a banner. But thought that's our show. Yeah. Got Tony needs a chair at the GoFundMe. We'll see that chair one day. We'll see that chair.
Yeah, eventually.
Southern Gooner, that's Matt show. Arsenal 3 Wolves 0. I think Gary got sick of updating it, so he just kept it at 3-0. Welcome to the one. So I'm just going through what Gary's banners are.
Right.
I've also got one called Use Banners to summarise your talking points and display calls to action.
Well, very instructional.
It's wonderfully generic. It doesn't come off on one. Anyway, yeah, the tactics. I ain't done that for a while, but there's nothing the tactics truck. Nothing the tactics truck.
It's nothing at the moment. But my Shanghai Port FC are leading by 4 points in the Chinese Super League.
Four. They had another win on Thursday, I believe.
Yep.
Is a seemingly random question, but on your travels, on your travails in the Asian continent, what football shirts did you tend to see the most, if you saw any?
So the football shirts over there, the most are, you will see a lot of Chelsea, a lot of Manchester United, and you'll see a lot of Arsenal.
Did you see any Man City shirts?
Very few, if any. That's what I'm saying. Their global reach is not as big, or at least not over there, as what people think. It's not.
No, that'll take a few years. Give it another 10 years, and then mysteriously you'll start getting lifelong Man City supporters, because they will actually be lifelong Man City supporters.
Yeah, you'll start seeing new generations come through, but no, right now it's mainly it's Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal, a few Liverpool as well, of course, but yeah, it's mainly them really, those big four.
So where did you exactly go? So I know you like do a bit of hopping.
Yeah, so I went to Bangkok. I was a few days in Bangkok, and then I went down to Hua Hin, which is a nice little coastal city, about 3 hours drive south of Bangkok. More laid back, a bit nicer, not so busy. And I was there basically. I was really only there those two places really. I was there for 2 weeks. I didn't really bother going anywhere else. So it was just nice and relaxing, just nice. Quite hot, of course.
Well, I think it's important. Sorry, the comments have frozen. They are right. I could see them now in the. So I've got it up on separate chat, but I wondered why it had been frozen for 10 minutes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Sorry,
yeah.
Sam. Continue. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I was just saying, it seems strange, didn't it, that they just stopped. But yeah, no, so I was just in those two places, and yeah, it was very nice, very relaxing, very laid back. I can absolutely recommend it to anyone. It's a beautiful place to go. Feels so different. You feel like you're in a different part of the world, which you are, of course, obviously. But it's not like you go down to Spain or Greece or whatever, and you just you're basically seeing the same down there as you're seeing everywhere else. No, it's lovely. It's really, really nice. But yeah, it's a bit of a trek to get out there. Of course, it takes a while to get out there and get back. But that's the only downside, really. But no, it was lovely. Enjoyed it. Had a great time.
All right, I'll read out what has been written since it froze. All right. After Russ Morgan said he can't get around the Havertz transfer, Arsenal film said Seb Fabregas announced his retirement from football at age 36. Russ Morgan gave a love heart, presumably at Fabregas. Really asked, what was your favourite Fabregas goal at Arsenal? He said, mine was against Spurs in 2010. Straight from the restart, says Russ Morgan. Yep, that one. I guess he scored straight from the restart. Clapping.
Yeah, the Tottenham goal was probably my favourite Fabregas one as well. Scoring against Tottenham, great goal.
Critic says Arsenal is the first club to go viral from defeats. Your fans are egomaniacs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true, isn't it?
That's when we was talking about the fan base not being happy with the players we buy no matter what.
That sounds right, yeah. When really says, when will you do a 5-day Ashes watch along with Tony and Alonso?
Oh my God!
You know what? We'll do it in 8 years' time, because obviously I can't do the Australian one because that'd be like 3 o'clock in the morning. So I already do think 3 o'clock in the morning. So we'll say 2031.
Just book it in for then. Book it in for then.
Yeah, but with pencil, not pen, of course.
Yeah.
Tony's got Walter White vibes. And it was then at that point that Russ Morgan stupidly realised that I can't read the comments, and Tom can't see the comments. Which is a stupid, because obviously if I could, they're fucking going up on the screen. Sorry, my language is foul. I really need to work on that.
No, it's lovely. It's beautiful. You just express yourself there, Tom.
Tom, what are your 5 this week? I'm guessing that's in reference to Gary's 5 Arsenal. So we'll say Nketiah, and Saka's a good player. So Stefan has pointed at go away and still talking shit. I'm guessing he means he went away. He's come back and we're still talking shit. Outrageous. And then, why do you think I love Arsenal channels, Cheddars? And then Stefan said Tom needs to work on more profanity.
Yes.
Arsenal Misfit says his uncle lived in Hua Hin before he passed away.
Mm.
Yeah, I can't do that noise. That's rather racial. Yeah, so we have gone for 1 hour and 34 minutes in 3 seconds. This has been wonderful, okay? Partly because, yeah, everyone's getting to speak, all right? We ain't got Gary's play-by-play, all right? Where Gary has unspoken rules on play-by-play, yeah. When he tells you what's going on for every second of the match, you can't speak, all right? He's never said it. All right, I'm making it up, but it's just amusing. It's in his eyes. And it's like, He's like, but I still want you to log on to watch me do it. But nah, in all seriousness, that is great. And I'm pleased that he trusts us to run the show in his absence. Because do you think I would give Tony the password and the wheels if I couldn't do it?
No, it's no, it shows that we work well together, and you do a good job. And Gary's not here, and I mean it's obvious that I think you're a little bit more reliable. Let's put it that way.
I even turned up on time.
Yeah, you do.
I know it's last week. No, it's what I was saying to you before last week, Gary opened the show with Tom will be a bit late because he doesn't like the intros. It's like, no, Gary, I'm just late because I'm tardy. I'm not nothing to do with liking the intros or disliking the intros. I didn't realise he had said that because obviously I was late. But then when I watched the intro so I could copy his intro when I was doing the intro. And I was like, wait a minute. That's not true. That's not true, you fucker.
Yeah.
But anyway,
you can sneak in there.
Yeah, it's true. I suppose I should put up. Do we have 150? We're now 151 subscribers here on the Trip or DWTT channel, which obviously is amazing. It's amazing. I'm surprised it hasn't decreased in the time that we've been. I'm joking, right? But the important thing is you're all great. Thank you for supporting us. Sam, is there anything you want to get off your chest, say to your fans? I know you've got fans.
I've got one or two out there, I think, who like to follow what I say now and again. But yeah, that's about it, I think. Yeah, no, but it's been good fun as always. Lovely to see everyone back in the chat again and getting engaged. We're not too far off of things happening now in football, only a few weeks away from pre-season and everything. That'd be good. I think we're in a bit of a dead zone right now in between things. We're not much is happening apart from some signings, a bit of a rumour mill and that. So the action's not underway yet for a little while. I think we're also waiting to see what's going to happen, what the next rumour is, the next story coming out of Arsenal, what that's going to be. Be interesting to see who our next signing will be now after Declan Rice, and Timber. It looks like Timber's a done deal. So who's going to be next after that? There is talk of at least one or two more signings from what I can see. So very interesting to see what they are. And I want, just as Tom says, it's great that you guys take your time on a Saturday to be with us and share your Saturdays with us. It's good fun. We like to feedback off of your input in the chat, and it sort of keeps the show going and gives it a bit of buzz and a bit of content, which is great. I can't really see those, but because the chat says
No, I'm just showing them that I'm still paying attention to it.
We unfortunately we can't see. We can't see here where we're looking here on the channel, like sort of setup thing here that we set up behind the scenes. We can't see the comments here.
He said to you specifically, and it's goodbye from Sam, the Hitman Greenwood.
Yeah, Hitman Greenwood. But anyway, thanks a lot everyone for taking part. Have a great Saturday, everyone. Enjoy your weekends, and see you again next weekend.
Just to finish off, Arsenal Misfit said, good show, guys. Helps pass time away till I get my first days off in over a month next week. Stay safe, Misfit. And Stefan says, thanks, people. You make a dark world brighter. He must have read that. He must have got that in a Chinese cookie or something. Like, he's broken that's what it said. Because that's very profound. That's very profound, right? But Striker is the most profound person. So thank you to the person that you took that from. The Chinese person that wrote it on the thing before they put it into the cookie. Sorry, might not even be Chinese. That's racial of me, and I apologise. I apologise to the People's Republic of China. And the poor Bangladeshi sod that you probably actually got to do that and then paid them 4 pence. Sorry, yeah. So, yeah. So thank you to everyone for supporting the show, supporting Gary in his absence, because it means a lot to him. I'm sure that people are still willing to support his channel when he's not on it. He's not actually checked in on us either, so which surprises me, because I thought he'd be making sure that we're behaving. I mean, it's very naive of him to not check that we're behaving. Yeah, but no, seriously, thank you everyone for your support. Russ Morgan wants you to know that we are the jam in his donut.
Oh, and Russ Morgan's a jam between my toes.
Yeah, I'm not even sure that's PG, but yeah. So life is a journey. Don't waste the trip. Enjoy the ride, and I'll see you on the next one.
Adios.